Okay. So we'll see all these programs for all this whatever we are discussing, each topic, and we'll so write the programs after this theory part. After this theory part, we can so do that. Okay. So what is @parameters annotation means? So @parameters annotation mainly used to pass the parameter values to your test method or any other annotation method. Like even you can supply to before suit or before test, before class. So any annotation method, you can supply the parameter values from XML file. So from this XML file. So you can mention some parameters tag here. So then you can supply. Let me see any parameters annotation is included here. The parameters annotation. So they didn't mention, but yeah, I'll show you that. Okay. So we have in our example here. So if you want to supply this parameter values from XML file, you must declare parameter tag in the XML file. So that parameter tag inside, again, you have to use a name attribute and value attribute. So every tag has some attributes, right? These are the attributes. Attribute name equal to attribute value within double quotes. Same way, parameter tag also has name attribute and value attribute. So name attribute defines the name of the parameter. And value attribute defines the value of this parameter. So what is the value you want to give for that parameter? So that's the how many parameters you will declare in the class. That many parameter tags you need to write in the XML file. So, and so here you can understand here. See this? The syntax of this @parameters. Public class parameter demo, @parameters. So bracket. So round brackets inside, you can put. So curly bracket inside the first parameter, comma, second parameter. Like that, how many parameters you want, that many parameters you can declare. So declaration only. And then @test or @before suit or @before class, any annotation. That annotation above you have to write @parameters. Then declare those parameter names. Not necessary only two. You can write one, you can write 2, 3, and it's up to you how many parameters you want. That many parameters you specify here. And same number of parameters must be in the method. So public void test, right? So here also the same parameter names. So this is a string type. The string parameter 1. Same. The parameter name should be same here also. And the next second parameter, data type, parameter 2. That's how you can declare parameters, right? For the method. So parenthesis inside, first data type, parameter, comma, one more parameter is there, first data type, parameter. That's a parameter syntax. So that parameter syntax you must follow here. And now these parameter values you can give in the XML file. That means you are hiding the data. Basically, you are abstracting the data. So that means you are not showing. So this is the one of the interview question also. How you can abstract the data. So while supplying the data to your test methods. So you don't want a hard code, right? Generally in the send case method, you give your data, right? So how you can hide that? How you can hide that? So this is the way of using parameters. You can hide and you can give somewhere in the XML files. So that here, when people opens, they cannot see the values here. The values will be somewhere. That means you are abstracting. So that kind of abstraction you can show, implement with this @parameters annotation. So basically, this @parameters annotation is used to supply the data from XML file. Here you will declare only parameters in your class. You won't give values. You can get the values from XML file. Sir, how it will understand? This name, parameter name. And there you will declare in the XML file the same parameter name. So you will use this name attribute and value attribute, right? This parameter name, you will give name equal to parameter 1. And then value you give, whatever the value you want to give for this parameter. Then second parameter. So name equal to parameter 2 and value equal to what is the parameter 2 value. So let me show you that. Then this parameter name only you have to use. Don't put in double quotes. So this just parameter, I already explained in the methods topic, right? How to use parameters inside the method body. The parameter name only you have to use. So that's what we are using here. Okay. So then how you are supplying, let's see that. So you have to create first XML file, testng.xml suite file. If you have @parameters annotation in the testng class, you must have a testng.xml suite file. How to create a suite file? So for a particular class, you right click on that class. Okay, you right click on that class, and then you have an option testng, and the testng. So the testng convert to testng will be there. So then you can create an XML file. So this is what, right click on the class, select a testng option, then convert to testng option you choose, then give the suite name, test name, and XML file location. Then click on finish button. So that testng.xml file will create. Then you have to edit the XML file. Then you have to add like this. So basically you will get a suite tag, test tag, classes tag, then class names. So which class, if, for example, you selected 2 classes. So in your Eclipse, so those 2 classes will come here. If you select 1 class, only 1 class will come. So this won't come. So then close the classes tag then. But will this come automatically? No, you have to include this. The test tag below for this class needs these parameters. So you can put just a classes tag above. You can put parameter tag, name equal to parameter 1, value equal to value of the parameter 1. Then parameter tag, name equal to parameter 2, value equal to value of the parameter 2. So you can write the parameter tags. Then classes tag inside. Okay, this classes is having these parameter names, then these values will be automatically going there. So that's the linkage, the class name and the class have these parameters with the @parameters annotation, how we mentioned here, right? So with the @parameters annotation you mentioned, it will clearly understands. So the testng has a capability to understand, okay, this parameter value is this one. It will take from there. So that is the advantage of this supplying the parameter values from the testng.xml suite file. Okay, is this clear? I'll show you that. I'll show you. We have a demos. Okay, so we have a program, so we can do that. All that. So how can we do that? We'll see that. Okay. So then @test annotated block. So what is @test? So @test is marked as a class or method. So anything you want to mark as a test method, then you can mark that method, any method, as a test annotation. If you mark the @test annotation, then that will be treated as a it's a test method. So then what are the different test keywords or parameters we are going to use? So just now I have shown you. First one is data provider. You know already. So why data provider keyword we are using? So just now we have seen, right? So it will be mapping the data provider and test annotation methods to supply the data from data provider to test method. So that's why you are using data provider keyword. See this @test bracket data provider equal to data provider name or data provider method name you have to use. So data provider name or data provider method name you can give. That is how we will supply this. Okay. So next, depends on groups. Depends on groups. The list of groups, this method depends on. The list of groups, this method depends on. Okay, so the list of groups, this method depends on means, so what are all the groups depends on this particular test. So this method depends on this group. That means first these groups will execute. If that group related test cases are successful, then only this method will execute. Otherwise, if any one of them failed, this won't execute. So that's, you are setting the dependency between groups and this test method. Maybe you are getting some precondition, these groups must execute first, then only this test method has to execute. You can set the dependency between groups and a test method. So that's setting the dependency. Or you can set the dependency among test methods also. So like this, depends on methods. So all this, remember this. How can you set the dependency among test methods? Means using this parameter. So the list of methods, this method depends on. That means this method depends on this method name 1 and method name 2, and you can put multiple methods, or one method also you can write. Only one method, if it is there, you can write that method name only, you can write. See, @test depends on methods. See this method naming conventions, right? There's like a variable naming conventions. So it starts with a lowercase, and then second word onwards, every word first letter, cap letter, right? This is the method naming conventions and also variable naming conventions. So equal to, then curly bracket inside, you have to write method name, other method. So this method depends on which method. So that method name we will write first. That means, what is mean by this, if you write like this, is first this method will execute, these two methods. You specified here two methods, right? First method 1, method 2 will execute. Then cursor will come to this D method. If these two are successful, if anyone failed also, then this will skip automatically. Maybe there's some preconditional methods, those are. So if those method fails, you don't need to execute this method. So such cases, you can set dependency among test methods. That's the purpose of dependsOnMethod. This is a very useful method. Even you can set the order of your test methods also, which order you want to run with this dependsOnMethods. Sorry. So that is the main purpose. Then always run, if you set to true, this test method or any other annotation method will run always. Even the dependsOnMethod fails also. Suppose here, so this method fails, right? Any one of them. And then this will skip. That's a general behavior. But if you write always run equal to true like this, at the test, always run equal to true, comma, dependsOnMethods equal to T. So this T method failed. Obviously, this T1 will skip, but excuse me. If you write always run equal to true, even this T method fails also, the T1 will execute. That's the purpose of always run equal to true. So any method, whatever you set a dependsOnMethod fails also, you want to execute some method, the dependency method, what you set, then you write always run equal to true. So then this the behavior will be, so even this dependsOnMethod fails also, the T1 will execute. If you don't write this, generally this T1 will skip, right? That's a behavior. Now, because of this always run equal to true, will force the T1 to execute. So that is the always run concept. Description. So you want to describe your test method. You can use a description keyword. So enabled equal to false. You want to skip particular test method. Then you can write at the test enabled equal to false. Then that method will skip. So that's the enabled equal to false. Expected exceptions. Basically, this one is so you want to skip some exceptions. Expected these exceptions occurs. Then your test case will pass. Other than these exceptions, if any other exceptions comes, then this test method will mark as a failure. So that's the test bits. Then we have a groups. So the time is over. We'll discuss this groups and a few more. Then we'll start writing the programs tomorrow onwards. Okay. Few more are there, the basics. After that, we'll start. I'm stopping here. So